All right, folks, good afternoon. Let's go ahead and get airborne with our joint primary live trade brief and weekly options. Not going to be doing, obviously, too much weekly options. Appreciate your flexibility this week, folks. Just got back. There we go. Got my Norwich University shirt on. Appreciate the kind words, Fish. We had a great visit up at Norwich. It was a little freaking cold, man. It was like negative whatever the one day, and it's supposed to be, I think it's like 50 or 50 there today or tomorrow. So good visit at Norwich. I think our oldest boy's going to head there, play some hopefully Division III hockey. They were the NCAA Division III champs last year. So good hockey program. He's going to go in the Corps Cadets, and then apparently I dropped him on his head when he was younger because he wants to fly for the Marine Corps. I don't know what the hell happened with that young man, but I've been around fornicator's thought process. No, I'm obviously be proud if he wanted to fly for the Marines. So it was good. I appreciate the flexibility. We flew up late, or wasn't supposed to be late. We flew up Monday night in good old JetBlue. We land in JFK, and they had canceled our flight to Burlington, so we had to grab a rental car and drive 6 hours from JFK up to Norwich, Vermont. So that was pleasurable. Yeah, exactly, Larry. Yeah, good stuff. I appreciate the flexibility and very, very, very happy that he's doing some pretty good work. Geez, I don't know where to start, folks. I mean, all over the place. We are absolutely crushing it. Bruce, I think I answered you privately. The only bad trade I've had was the bear call spread in CSX and we covered last week to get out of that. I believe I sent out a text, and also just we covered that live to get out. I said, stop putting a cap on everything. I mean, hell, we even look at this last week. The urgent alert was a bull put spread on Tesla. Look at Tesla today, up 2%. So last week right here, we put on a bull put spread on Tesla, and that's crushing it. We haven't had CSX and a bad Tesla trade, or like I think I'm like 28 for 33 trades or something like that in the past 3 months. That's epic. I haven't had a run like yeah, here we go. Now I'm going to turn retarded. I haven't had a run like that in years. We're absolutely crushing it, man. From Raytheon to no, we don't have a bear call spread. We have I'm just laughing at I actually put on I shouldn't be mixing portfolios. I'm just talking about the Tesla bull put spread I put on last week to not fight the trend. I mean, even though I'm long-term bearish on Tesla, I'm like, you got to trade the stock in the market you have, not the one you want. So we put on a bull put spread last week on Tesla, and look at the result. So not a bear call spread, Brian. It was an urgent alert. That was last week's urgent alert, was the Tesla bull put spread. Benoit, no, this is I got back late last night, and I had to put out a bunch of fires and emails and everything today. So Benoit, we just moved it to 3 o'clock for today, 1 o'clock going forward. Everything's going to be at 1 o'clock going forward. So I appreciate your flexibility today. So, okay, let's get started. I started out way too tactical, but I couldn't be happier with the performance of our portfolios and our trades. 2017, I thought was epic, but what the hell do we say here, folks? I said, we're going to be in a holding pattern in December, and then what did I say? January, it's going to be off to the races, and we're going to see a rip your face off rally, which is exactly what we're seeing. And I'm going to break with my man Jeffrey Gunlock. If you watched yesterday's sit rep, you have a little idea what I'm going to hit you with. But all these people are smoking crack. The same people who are saying that 2018 is going to underperform are the same people who said Hillary wins, and if Trump wins, the market goes down double digits and the economy tanks. Idiots. Okay, here we go. So fake news yesterday, kind of like the Brian Ross. When was that Brian Ross thing? Doesn't that seem like, when was that? Right here. Everybody remember this day when Brian Ross came out and fake newsed himself into being suspended for 4 weeks? He should have been fired, but that's okay. Liberal media takes care of its own. Remember that fake news day and caused the market to drop like that? Look at yesterday. So again, folks, what was Wiz saying last year? Every pullback in 2017 was political. That's the fire and fury, or no, I'm sorry, that's the Trump's a racist, and Steve Mnuchin, who was just on a press conference, and Gary Cohn need to resign. They didn't. This is the fire and fury comment from his golf club in New Jersey, and then that. So again, for all the people who say, politics and trading and stuff like that, if you're not trading politics, you're an idiot. I don't know what what are you looking at? Fundamentals? It's stupid. So Wiz, love when you make money. Benoit, this has been epic. 2017. The November through period today, I was getting my Excel sheet out because I'm in. This is an ass pain, to be honest with you. This trade station shit. I don't know. I'll brief you on that later. But this, they're not making me happy. But I had to close out all my E-Trade stuff and move it all over to TradeStation, and I'm not going to say I regret it, but more on this to come. So Benoit, we've had a phenomenal run. Like I said, a Tesla bear call spread, and we put on an iron condor in CSX. I've been saying this did an Apple, folks. This CSX put on an iron condor. I figured, hey, we'd stay below this and maybe here. So the bull put spread is obviously at max profit, but this thing ran up like you read about and run up to Earnings Magazine. We still, it's in the money a little bit, but we'll let me get back to strategic here, folks. Told you it's a tough place to start. I was getting at fake news. Yesterday, Bloomberg, CNBC, all these guys reported that China was going to slow their purchase of U.S. treasuries, man. Now, this is incredible because, first of all, it turned out today not to be true. China denies considering changes to U.S. Treasury holdings. I told you that my buddy Rick Santelli, the guy who smokes like a chimney, it's awful. But he, it'd be like negative Kelvin outside the Board of Trade, and he's still like standing there in his coat and tie smoking. But I'd be like, hey, Rick, what if nobody shows up today, man? He's like, Wiz, that's our biggest nightmare. And yesterday, you could say that the Chinese, talking to some buddies from up north in a very big building and other buildings, said, hey, Wiz, if they did say this, or it might be a little bit of a trial balloon, like, hey, President Trump, you're shooting across our bow with North Korea, just don't forget that we're the largest, us and Japan are the largest foreign purchasers of your debt. So watch your mouth. So it was a little bit of a smackdown. And it is, today, like I said, a news report claimed Chinese officials had recommended slowing or halting treasury purchases. They denied that today. So Mark is exactly right. Mark said, Wiz, China cannot stop purchasing because of their yuan currency. That's exactly right. And there's a bunch of other reasons. But such news may have used wrong information sources and may have been fake news. Folks, I almost spit my coffee out. The Chinese Foreign Ministry used the term fake news. Isn't this awesome? It was comical. So that's why I said it was fake news. So strategically, like I said, all these pullbacks have been what? Political. You call that a pullback? There's the Brian Ross pullback. There's the China pullback. Okay. So, and this ain't a pullback, folks. This was an epic run, and let's hang out in December. So, all right, let's move on. So China says no. Now, here's breaking news from Top Gun Options, and I'm actually writing an article on this for not Fast. Is it Fast Money? Yeah, whatever. Because Jeffrey and I are parting ways in 2018. Jeffrey and I were one of the only financial professionals, along with a couple other hedge fund managers. Literally 5 professionals you could count on one hand the number of people who said Trump would win and the market would rally. Now, Gundlach he's saying S&P is going to have negative return for 2018. He is smoking crack. He is absolutely smoking crack. If you're watching the press conference with Steve Mnuchin, the guy's right. The Americans haven't even seen this yet, folks. Companies, look at Walmart and whatchamacallit, so the Walmart that breaks 100, folks, and the liberal media can't even keep up with it, so they stop reporting. JetBlue, American, Southwest, AT&T, Walmart. Everybody is throwing money back at their employees. Now, the Walmart one is based on length of service, which good for them. If you worked for Walmart for under 2 years, you get $200. If you worked for them for like more than 20, it's like 1,000. So it's scaled. I don't give a shit. People trying to pick that apart. I'm like, Nancy Pelosi is still sitting here saying people are going to die and, it's awful and this is disgusting, the worst thing that I've ever seen. It's comical, folks. So they closed Sam's Clubs, HH. You got it. So exactly, Brian, folks. It's comical. Nancy Pelosi is still screaming the worst legislation ever. People are dying, they're lying. It's a lie. So I'm telling you, Jeffrey's wrong. This time next year, we're going to be sitting in 2019. I'm going to be laughing, going, we printed money again in 2017. We'll talk about bank earnings in a couple minutes because it is going to be a little choppy for fourth quarter. But after that, it's fights on, folks. It is off to the races in 2018, and Trump hasn't even really started stumping for infrastructure reform, man. The tax, Steve Mnuchin's like, and I get that limousine liberals like Nancy Pelosi say, oh, geez, $1,000 is chump change. She's such a piece of shit, folks. When Barack Obama gave speeches about people getting $40 a month extra in their check, she was fawning over that. But $1,000, you know, that's maybe her eyeshadow for a day. It's disgusting. She makes me want to puke. So this is thanks, Harry. Yeah, let's just say Jeffrey manages a hell of a lot more money than I do. I don't want to manage money. I don't want to deal with investors. I think that's a pain in the ass. But he's completely wrong. I agree with him on this. Dubious of Bitcoin long-term value. S&P to have pretty decent run in early 18 before declining. I don't agree. We'll debrief that in a year. Pelosi continues to rip tax reform, wage increases, and bonus. They're crumbs and so pathetic. Only a piece of shit limousine liberal would speak like this. So to all the Walmart, American Airlines, I was talking to some JetBlue pilots yesterday. They're like, dude, I got $1,000, man. That goes right. I'm investing it or buying stuff. It goes into the economy. She's such an idiot. The idiots in San Francisco. I love San Francisco. I love California. It really is full of stupid people. She's an idiot. That is such a limousine. Exactly, Brian. They're out of touch with workers. Hey, Nancy, go talk to a bunch of Walmart folks or American Airlines flight attendant who just got $1,000. That might be nothing to you and your disgusting husband who should be in jail. It's something to middle class people. And here's what's funny is it is a big deal. So here's what's funny is everybody's doing in an off year election, the incumbent party of the White House tends to lose seats. I don't know, man. Again, these are the same people who said Hillary was going to win by double digits. So don't listen to any polls, please. Here's your daily crypto update. Yesterday, one of the at coinmarketcap.com, they removed data from their South Korean exchanges, and $100 billion in market value vanished in a blink of an eye. Today, Bitcoin plunges as South Korea is going to ban cryptocurrency. So, folks, this, again, the whiz rule of thumb, I know it's the hot topic, and when waiters and waitresses are, when they're sitting there asking me about this stuff, and when the lady gets physical delivery, the one waitress is like, do they ship them? Do they hold the coins for you? I'm like, for Christ's sake, man. The only amount of money you should have in this, literally, if it's okay with you, if you have a pile of money you would rather light on fire and drink champagne as you watch it burn, that's the amount you should invest. I'm not joking. If you have some money that you really don't give a shit that you lose, that's the amount you should put it in. If it's $1,000, if it's $100,000, or if it's $1 million, put that amount in there and see where it goes. Otherwise, I'll wait till we start trading options on this shit to really pay attention. Anyway, here's your comical. Here's your comedy of the day. Moody warns Washington, our credit rating is at risk over Trump tax cuts. Pause for laughter. Barack Hussein Obama, first time in our nation's history, we lost our AAA credit rating under that president. Everybody remember that? Or the media didn't cover that too much, but it was, could you imagine if Donald Trump lost our AAA credit rating? People would, they'd be screaming at the sky, right? They'd be storming the White House. But so Barack Obama adds $11 trillion in debt to our country. Trump adds 1.5, and in the process of adding 1.5, he's going to increase our GDP and create more jobs, and people are getting more money in their pocket. So ignore this shit, folks. It's comical. I will gladly go in the debt, quote unquote, $1.5 trillion to see that money come back tenfold. If you don't understand the math in that, you're stupid. That's comedy. And then here you go. Economists credit Trump as tailwind for U.S. growth, hiring, and stocks. So again, liberals in 2016 and Democrats. If Trump wins, the market and the economy tanks. Liberals in 2017, Trump has nothing to do with the economy and the stock market. It is ridiculous. So, yeah, we talked about this, guys, for a year. If you've been here for a year or longer, you know that we predicted all this. This is the hope and change rally. This thing had a rise on hope. Now look at the rise that we're seeing on actual change. It's the beginning of the year, and people are saying, hey, we're going to start seeing some more money. Steve Mnuchin just got on there and said, hey, we're 90%. And again, this might not be a big number for liberals, but 90% of Americans who pay taxes will get money back. $1 trillion over 10 years. What's that, Chuck? 20 trillion over 10 years, 1 trillion over 10 years. Exactly, guys. So we are seeing the hope and change rally. It just doesn't have Obama's name attached to it. All right. Hey, how about this? Crude. Brent is topping 70 for the first time since 2014. And look at this. Whispers of $80 oil are growing louder. Let me get a hell yeah if you're an ExxonMobil. Let me get a hell yeah if you got an ExxonMobil right there when I said to get an ExxonMobil. Isn't it absolute? A lot of hell yeah. Printing money. Chuck's printing money. Marcia, Dennis, good. John. Chuck, printing money. Excellent, folks. When's their earnings coming out? February confirmed. Okay. And not only with the Iron Condor. So, guys, we're up over 15 or 16.5, at least on the trades I put out, $16,500 in ExxonMobil profits. And thank God, right around here, what did I say, guys? Right here, I said, we're done. When it broke out of this channel, when it broke out of whoa, looks like I've been drinking. It's not 5 o'clock yet. When it broke out of here, folks, what did I say? 2 weeks ago, I said, we're done. We're no more Iron Condor. So it broke out of our Iron Condor range. We nailed ExxonMobil, guys. We hit the plunge, which sucked. We made it back. We netted $4,000 on ExxonMobil and bailed out. We got back in here, and now we're up 16.5. So in 1 year, we're up $21,000 in ExxonMobil trades. Boom. Sandra, good question. The answer is no. Is it too late to get into ExxonMobil? So, Sandra, I got tactical before I should have stayed strategery, like George Bush said. But look at this. Here's why I went tactical, because I love making nearly $17,000 in ExxonMobil trades in a month and a half. That's a hell yeah, guys. And that's unlimited risk, man. And some of those Iron Condors were what, $3,000 or $4,000 in risk to make about $3,000 or $4,000. Love it. Love everything. So, Sandra, no, good question. She said, hey, Wiz, is it too late? No. We're topping 70 for the first time since 2014, Sandra. And then look at this. Rising demand for oil and OPEC production cuts could send prices higher in 2018. Why is oil higher today? Anybody know? Why is oil, if you watched the press conference a couple minutes ago, you also know why. Why is it higher today? There you go, Harry. You nailed it. Right through the bullseye. Harry nailed it. The Iran sanctions. Trump is poking the cage, and even Democrats are waking up from the slumber of, yeah, that probably was a bad deal. Oh, you mean giving billions to the mullahs so they can kill their own people? Build nukes and kill more of us? Idiots. So, the Middle East ain't getting better, folks. It ain't a nice neighborhood. Yemen is still a shit show. I saw the other day that an F-15, the Saudis won't confirm it, they lost an Eagle. I don't know about the pilot, and then they had a tornado crash. They said it was, mechanical, but not too many planes. We don't lose too many planes for mechanical reasons over enemy territory. So it's a shit show in the Middle East, guys. And you guys know for a fact that our ExxonMobil long call diagonal that we put on right here, right there, is geared for what? 35. ExxonMobil is geared for $35 in oil a barrel, $35 a barrel. With oil at 80, ExxonMobil is going to start printing money. We were perfect timing on this trade, just like GE. I haven't even gotten to GE yet, man. Holy crap. GE. Anyway, so now that ExxonMobil is out of this range, it's off to the races. So, Sandra, I would absolutely do a Jan 20 long, call diagonal, or synthetic stock. Mark, I couldn't even tell you, man. As we're speaking, we're probably doing a drone strike. That's the other thing, man. Everybody remember when Barack Hussein Obama sat down in an interview and called ISIS the JV team? And then a year later, they owned most of Iraq and Syria and were killing a lot of people. In 10 months, Donald Trump has destroyed those people. When he dropped the Moab, when he ordered field commanders, Barack Obama was Lyndon Johnson. You could see him huddled over a map looking at bridges to bomb. Trump said, hey, field commanders, you're a freaking field commander. That's why you're in that position. Do what needs to be done to kill the enemy and turn them into hair, teeth, and eyeballs. So this is, 95%, Brian, of ISIS-controlled territory we have back. Not a peep. Not a peep. Barack Obama kills Saddam Hussein. Close enough. What's his name? Bin Laden. Huge victory laps. Media fawning all over the place. Trump defeats ISIS in 10 months. You don't hear a word. So anyway, Sandra, this is a yes. You're not too late on ExxonMobil. And I got to tell you, Sandra, with $80 oil, you get one Saudi Arabia missile lobbed into Iran. You're looking at $150 oil. Okay, so absolutely, this is a good trade still to get back in. You're welcome. Good question. I should have hit that. And you know what? Real quick, guys, somebody, crap, I have your name written down, and I'm sorry, but somebody said, hey, Wiz, the current positions, can you hook me up with? Here's the deal, guys. Like I said, I'm in the middle of, I'm a man without a country right now because I went to cash to get all my crap over to TradeStation. I'm not saying I'm regretting it. I'm still in the interim. So any position on this page, maybe you were a newer member, but here's our sectors. Every one of these, you know what? 2 through 5 is a yes. So if you're a new member, whoever asked what the current positions are, this is our main portfolio right here, from financials down to emerging markets. You're gonna the only thing that's not listed here, guys. So if you're new, number 6 is what? Transport. I like this highlighter. Where's what's her name? She's usually in here saying I love my highlighter here. So yes. Well, Harry, no, I get what that's what support said. All the trades are on the website, meaning like in one area. Remember when I was at E-Trade or TradeStation, I had all the current trades. I could show them. This is a pain in the ass. I get it. So whoever asked that, I'm going to talk about tech in a couple of minutes because it's going to be a little shocking what I'm going to tell you. So tech. This isn't a tech company, by the way, guys. Amazon, we call it the FANG, but Amazon it's the Death Star. And in an article in a couple minutes, somebody actually calls it that, which they stole it. So let me get to this. We got to cruise. Good article out of is out of Goldman is short Vega, short vol and VIX ETFs are seeing even more money. We talked about this last year, how being short vol was the trade unless it wasn't. If you listen to my sit rep, guys, you know that I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to get short vol. The only time we traded vol last year was what? Event driven. Oh my God, tax reform's not going to pass. Of course it is. Oh my God, no, it's not. Fire and Fury, that's stupid. Fed, okay. Brexit, elections, Fed meetings where a big decision is coming. North Korea, you got 20. Oh, here's the other thing. So after saying his button's bigger than his and mine actually works, and all this pressure, the toughest sanctions North Korea's ever seen, they pick up the phone that hasn't been used in 2 years and say, hey, meet us in the Panmunjom or whatever, in the Peace House. And now they're talking about going to the Olympics. You guys you're all educated and you're not as dumb as the South Korean president. We know it's trying to drive a wedge between the U.S. and South Korea. But for the first time in years is this guy coming to the negotiating table. So Harry's exactly right. Known events make us money. This is a pilot and command decision. Let me post this in here. Here's what I mean by this, folks, is if you want to try and short vol and run in front of steamrollers to pick up dimes, knock yourself out. I will be the one driving the steamroller and laughing at you when you lose money. Be very careful if you're going to do this, guys. Just I don't even want to brief you on it, but it's a good write up about it and how volatile. Last week was the first time in history that the VIX traded below 2 days in a row. Right here, it didn't close below. Below 9. It didn't close below 9, but it at least traded down into the upper 8s. Never in the history since 1993 of the VIX did it whatever. But yeah, and Brian's got a better point. You know what, folks? If you are going to be short vol, do it after the market freaks the hell out. Oh my God, this XYZ might happen by Friday. If the VIX, and it ain't like nuclear war or chemical or biological attack, then short vol. Short vol after it spikes on something that we know is going to not keep happening. Okay. Bruce, when I go to Top Gun website, I only get up to October 27. Bruce, what portfolio? Contact support or give support a call. Everybody should have. The TGO site goes back years, so you should be seeing all trades on there. Harry, today my money transferred. I'll be donating later today. Oh, awesome! Thanks, Harry. I appreciate it. We'll talk about the at the end, because I know JP's gonna join us with his beautiful bride, hopefully, and some other local folks. Vasilius, where's Vasilius? I haven't seen you in a little bit, man. Vasilius sent me a copy of magazine. I think he lives down in South Florida. I'd love to have you join us. Brad said he had to log out and log back in to get current on the website. Oh, that's interesting, Brad. Maybe it's a cookie issue. So, Bruce, maybe do that, my friend. Brad's saying, hey, man, I had to. Oh, there's Vasilius. Good to see you, man. Try and come to the event on the 30th, Vasilius. Yeah, I know, Harry. Yep. All right, let me press here, guys. We'll talk about the charity at the end. So here's the big thing we have to talk about today, tax law and bank earnings. We know what Goldman Sachs reported last week, right? Goldman Sachs said, holy crap, we're going to take a $5 billion hit. It wiped out all of Goldman Sachs' 2017 earnings. Isn't that incredible? Christine had the same issue. Susie helped. Okay, so yeah, so Bruce, this is news to me, guys. I guess Susie's taking care of that on the down low. I'll talk to our techie, but that's weird. Maybe just log out and log back in, or clear your cookies or something. There's stray trons all over the place with stuff. So 5 large U.S. banks are expected to report. Look at this, folks. Pay attention if you've been clubbing in the Bahamas for 27 minutes. A $31 billion in tax-related hits to the fourth quarter. But the industry is going to benefit long term. We predicted this, guys. I said, hey, this is a great first sentence. It's going to be a noisy quarter for bank earnings. I'm not going to get into this, but there's a big tax bill. But companies also tend to do this, guys. If things are going to suck, they pull them as far forward as they can. So Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Citi, they're all loading this quarter with crap. So don't expect investors to be overly alarmed, though. I might actually think if bank earnings are horrific, it will be a buy on the news. Obi, you're right. You read my notes in my brain here. Obi nailed it. One-time hit on foreign earnings, market will largely ignore. You nailed it, my friend. The new law is good for us, Moynihan said, the Bank of America skipper. So it is. I'm not going to get in this, guys, but look at this. Look at this chart. Give me a hell yeah. I'm not a B of A guy, but obviously there's our what I would call our silver medalist. There's our gold medalist. Goldman's barely outperforming the S&P 500. So look at us, guys. We're right here. Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan, and bank stock performance since Donald Trump's election. Isn't that awesome? So again, I don't follow Bank of America. I mean, looking at that, it obviously would have been the better choice, but this is awesome. Chuck's give me a hell yeah. Steve, could we have the link for the news? This news, the Wall Street Journal one. So this is a good looking, yeah, Steve, I'll share. This is a read. You got to read this on your own. I'm not going to take forever on this one. But this is a very, very good, it's choppy, short story long. Obi nailed it. One-time hit, and then 2018, the banks will print money. Net deferred tax assets by bank. stashed away, foreign earnings not taxed by the U.S. So yeah, Citigroup's going to take a big hit. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley's going to be the least hit. Bottom line, guys, again, it'll be choppy for the fourth quarter, but I think it's going to be a buy on the news, man. If these guys do dip, get in more. Listen to me. If you're in a JP Morgan Jan 19, Jan 20, or Morgan Stanley Jan 19, Jan 20, if they pull back on bad earnings, it is one time. Don't ignore Goldman. We'll talk about Goldman just for sport, but this will be an opportunity to buy. 2018, exactly, Chuck, well put. I would load the boat. Chuck, if you want to look into some Bank of America leaps, go ahead. I study JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon. And I don't know Bank of America. I know Bank of America. Moynihan, he's a good dude. And they swallowed up the thundering herd in the financial crisis. I get it, but I know JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley better. So Chuck, yes, I'd load up with some leaps on Bank of America just because it seems like in all my kind of reading as I look at the other two, it's a little further ahead. So absolutely, it's absolutely a good idea with Bank of America. All right, I got a cruise here. So Jamie Dimon, we'll see if tomorrow, or when is it? Yes. What am I, stupid? God, the politics going on. Look at nice climb schedule after we leveled off. Look at that. Tomorrow. Yeah, thank God. Whew. I was like, it's tomorrow. So we'll see if Jamie Dimon continues to run for president on the earnings call like he did last time. We do expect, so listen to me, folks, I'm telling you right now, we do expect earnings to fall. But a lot of one-time charges related to the new tax law. They're still figuring it out. Everybody's still figuring this out. It is great. Higher revenue. That's good. Tax overhaul, trading headwinds again. Yeah, I mean, it's funny to hear the blue bloods complain about it's hard to make money in a market like this. I love when people say that. It's hard to make money in a market like this. That's first of all because you have a shit pot of money. Remember that when you run a multi-billion dollar fund or you're a JP Morgan, it's hard to jump in here, right? When you're an options trader like us, we can do it awesome. JW, with E-Trade and TradeStation requiring we pay for real time rather than delayed, can you tell us what we need to subscribe to? Yeah, JW, let me. I'll save that to the end as well because we'll talk about that. I'm trying to get together I was just watching this beforehand, getting started with Option Pro on TradeStation. I'm knocking out my videos. I'll come to a conclusion here, JW, soon because I need to. I have personal money over here, and I'm like, crap. And it's clunky to trade with my own money. But we'll see. Now, here's trouble, folks. Global domination. I said world domination. That's close enough. I've been using that term for about a year with Amazon. I said they are going to, it's world domination, global domination. They're investing aggressively overseas. We'll talk about we almost don't even have to talk about it, but our Amazon bull put spreads are crushing it. Everybody and our Apple bull put spreads. Where's Amazon? Well, let me just brief what's going on tactically or strategically with these guys. So Amazon, guys, Trump today, a little bit of a tweet, said, hey, I support an internet tax. That was yesterday. I'm sorry. The internet, they're going to have to start paying sales tax because it's very unfair what's happening to our retailers all over the country that are put out of business. It's comical, guys, threatening somebody with a tax. I love the fact that liberals and Democrats ignore that Donald Trump was a liberal Democrat and a limousine liberal for 90% of his life. He found the Republican Party when he wanted to run for president. So please, I don't agree with this. It's a Wild West, man. That sounds like a Democrat. That sounds like Chuck Schumer. We need to tax these guys because average retailers in middle America is getting hurt. Can Nancy Pelosi tell me what's wrong with that? She'd find something wrong with this, guys. So this is worrying me, guys. let me lead with this, and then I'll give you my. So the two breaking news events of today are what? I disagree with Jeffrey Gundlach, and I am going from being bullish on tech as one of our sector trades to neutral. This is a big deal, and I might actually get bearish. Facebook last week, it was reported, you guys probably didn't see it because they don't hold a press conference on this. The insider selling towards what was it, November, December of last year in Facebook was ginormous. I don't have the article in front of me. I left it on the damn airplane in the seat back. Facebook insiders are selling like nuts. We talked when was it? No, I put it in yesterday's sit rep, but when was it? Zuckerberg, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, whenever it was, a month ago, it seems like a year ago. Remember when Zuckerberg said this? I don't care, about our profitability. I'll sacrifice profitability to kind of do what's right or something like that. Let me put on my flight suit. Hey, that's pretty cool, man. That sounds American. Let me put on my Gordon Gekko Armani suit. You're an asshole. I'm going to sue you. If I was a shareholder of Facebook, I would have filed a lawsuit by now. Well, actually, the stock didn't go down. If the stock went down. But here's my point, guys. The CEO of a publicly traded company has a fiduciary responsibility to who? To the world, to teenagers, to me as a shareholder. I don't own it. I'm just wanking like I'm a shareholder. I trade options. But does everybody understand this? You got it, Cliff. So, folks, that's right, Harry. When this guy sits here and goes, I'll sacrifice our profitability to fix what's broken with us. No, you ain't, Kemosabe. Who's we? Now, if you want to do that, Mark, take the company private, dude. Use your quadrillion dollars and take the company private. Otherwise, I'll see you in court if I start losing money on your shares. That's awful. Europe is going after all of these guys. Apple, look at where's Tim Cook, man. Apple's had a hell of a couple weeks. What was it, Friday or over the weekend? Whenever it was, Apple's two biggest investors said, the iPhones are horrible for society and children. Oh boy. Dennis, I'll answer your question in a couple seconds. So iPhones are toxic. We're doing bad. Tim Cook stumbles at his specialty, shipping Apple products on time. Oh boy. Under this skipper, the technology giant has been late delivering new devices. What's the last one? Oh, and then this was a couple weeks ago, right? Or last week. Apple says all iPhones and Macs exposed to the meltdown inspector flaws. So Dennis, here's your answer. I would not be in Facebook out to Jan 19 or Jan 20. Oh, HH, good catch. I forgot about it. The battery issue. There's so many. So HH, good wingman there. Copy paste. Dow's up 160. Holy shit. Look at these. So folks, here's breaking news. Dennis, to answer your question, I would get out of my Facebook Jan 19. Absolutely. It's dead money to me. You're dead to me, Fredo. You broke my heart. Guys, I would take any Facebook profits and I'd do one contract. I'd do one. Who was it? Richard. I don't know if Richard's in here. He's one of my Commanding Officers Club, my one-on-one coaching clients. Every Friday we hop on the call, we debrief his portfolio, and we talk about stuff. I think to do one long call diagonal on Amazon, it was like $30,000 for one contract. So maybe you and a buddy chip in together and do one. So guys, where's Fish? You're in here. Years ago, Fish, let's go 5 years. Ray, would have to be 10. Right in here, guys. I'll be the first one to admit, that's a shallow climb schedule, and then I turned. So right during this climb, he had not monetized Facebook. He did the standard, if you build it, we will monetize. He struggled. He still hasn't even really monetized Instagram. I got Instagram ads running. I'm not going to waste too much more time on this. There are other places you can deploy your capital other than Facebook. I don't like it. I'm not going to say I'm a Facebook bear. I'm neutral on Facebook, and you ready for this? I'm neutral on Apple. I haven't made the official decision to bail on. And here's why I'm doing this, guys, is because, like I said, I have to reestablish these positions on TradeStation or back on fricking E-Trade. Here's my point. In doing my kind of 2017 debrief and looking at everything Zuckerberg's saying and the insider selling that Facebook saw towards the end of the year is historic. So insiders are selling, Zuckerberg saying, I'm going to sacrifice profitability to be a good citizen, and all this other horse shit and regulations in Russia. It's got too many warts for me. You can be in defense. Let me get a hell yeah if you're in Raytheon, man. Where's all my Raytheon traders? Did we nail this or what? Holy shit, man. So there's when we put on our Jan 20 long call diagonal. Does everybody remember the bull put spread I put on right here? So Raytheon is like Exxon. Raytheon is 18 grand. Raytheon, hell yeah, look at everybody chiming in here. Awesome, got Raytheon forever. Guys, we are up, so between the Exxon Mobil and Raytheon trades, that's about $35,000 in a month to a month and a half. Harry's up 71% in Raytheon. So here's I'm getting long-winded here. I'm not digging these guys. I'm souring. See what I did there? I'm souring on Apple, and I didn't even mean to do that. I'm souring on Apple, and I don't like Facebook anymore. That's it. So this is a pilot and command moment. So Dennis, you said, hey, should we bail on the Jan 19s? I can't tell you what to do, obviously, Dennis. That's investment advice. I can tell you what I'm doing. I'm not reestablishing Jan 19 or Jan 20s on Facebook for now. And I'm not putting on new ones for Apple. Apple right now will be a hold. Yeah, Debbie, if you're in the front month, if you're in the 18, you should be getting out of them. So yeah, but so guys, I would deploy I'd take my Facebook, and if you're souring on Apple like me, I mean, we can wait. You could wait until earnings come out and see. I still haven't heard and our Apple bull put spread is crushing it too, guys. We put on the 167.5, this one, right? So the 167.5, 165. Well, let's get in the current positions. Let's do our portfolio review. So we got a max profit out of that Amazon weekly 2 weeks ago, and then the 167.5, 165 for 60 cents. What's it at right now? 13 cents. 60 minus 13 equals times 30 equals. So this trades up $1,400, folks. That is a very, very nice one. Dennis, yeah, we took a look at the 172.5, 170 in the urgent alerts. Absolutely, Kevin. Exactly. So both of these trades are looking sweet. But this is going to have to be a pilot and command moment. So we have 2 bull put spreads on. So this one is up. I'd close this, guys. If you want to sit here and maybe get some theta, don't turn it. It's up what? That's 1,400. That's what, 80. That's an 85% gain. It's up 85%. So let's close that. Let's do that right now. And the Amazon trade? Let me bring this up. I have to do all this shit mentally, man, or on spreadsheets, because so the Amazon, and we'll cover CSX in a second here, guys. That one sucks. The long call diagonal's looking great, but the Iron Condor got blown out of the top. No. So last we did the Amazon weekly bull put spread was max profit. The Apple bull put spread, I close. CSX, I close. Raytheon, Exxon Mobil. All right, good. No, we're more or less caught up to date here. So let's close that one. Sandeep, yeah, I talked about that earlier. Let's get this out first. So we'll talk CSX in a second here, guys. That's a loss. Yeah, Kev, I don't think that's in the PLTB portfolio, Kevin, is it? The 1140, 1150? That's either an urgent alert or a AR, accelerated retirement. But Amazon, look at this, the 1170 right here, guys. Look at this one. We put this one on and it went from 1170. We're up at 12. It went up $100. Matt, CSX only filled on the put spread. Lucky me. Sometimes it happens that way, guys. Sometimes people are just filled on the bear call spread and they get blown out. So I would close out. Kevin, what was that Amazon trade? I don't have my Excel up here. It's on my pad. I should email it to, because maybe I'll kill two birds with one stone here. The Jan 26 Jan. What do you mean? Urgent alert. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll send out a separate text. So PLTB, Apple update, Apple close 167.5, 165 bull put spread at 12 cents for a 85% $1,400 gain in 1 week. Look to close urgent. Oops. I'll kill a couple birds here. Urgent alert, Amazon spread for similar percentage gain. How's that? So that gives everybody a little bit of SA. Sandeep, the 1155, 1160. Remember, guys, we had a couple Amazon spreads on there. Amazon 1155, 1160. I thought we had a seven. We had two Amazon bull put spreads on. Remember, Harry, you asked me, you're like, would you double up on these Amazon spreads? I said, yeah. if you got one on and you really like it, let's put two on. We did that. I think it was in an Analyze Your Trade, Harry. So I had an existing Amazon bull put spread here, and then right here we put on another one. So we did double up there. Remember? Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, it is an AR. Okay. So Harry's got two spreads. One's up 98%, close it, and the other one's 61%. Awesome. So Sandeep, so here's a training question. We cannot make more than the credit we received when we opened Amazon trade. So even if it is up in price, we cannot get more than the credit. No, so Sandeep, when you sell something, when you sell your house or your car for, you sell your house for $1 million, all you can get is that $1 million, man. That's yeah. If you buy the house for $1 million and 2 days later it turns out that Jesus Christ came back to life and wants to buy your house and now it's at $100 million, that's you can make your upside is more or less unlimited in that example. That would be like an example of just being a straight call buyer, not a spread. So yeah, Sandeep. So when you look at this trade, Sandeep, right here. So if we took in a credit, so with this Amazon trade, we took in a credit right here, hopefully of about 60 cents right there. So it's a credit spread. The most you can make is that 60 cents. 60 times 3, 60 times 30 contract is what? Is $1,800, right? So here we go. So the max, we did the math mentally. Now they did it for us. The most we could make on that Amazon bull put spread is $1,800. That's the most you can make is the credit that you take in. Does that make sense? Vertical head nod. Yeah, minus commission, exactly. And you guys know I don't cover commissions because everybody in this room is completely different. I was texting back and forth with Shrek. Shrek's on active duty in the Marine Corps. He's printing money at TradeStation. He doesn't. The only commission he has to pay is if you trade SPX. They can't give you a break on the index trading. You got to pay those fees. So, but everything else, he's like, dude, this commission-free trading is absolutely crushing it. Christine, how much is that up? Christine's saying, hey, Wish, should we close the Apple 170, 2.5, 170? It depends, Christine. How much is it up for you right now, percentage-wise? Let me finish sending out this text alert, guys, because I don't want to forget these. Sandeep, no, that's not correct. As Sandeep says, since Amazon is way up, we can let the Amazon trade expire and not pay any commission. Correct, Sandeep? That's not correct. Every broker is going to. You can let this trade expire worthless, Sandeep, and hopefully collect the max profit. No, Christine, what's the percentage gain? If you're up $450, that could be 10%. That could be, let me know what your percentage gain. So Sandeep, that's not correct. Some brokers, if you, what is it? If it's a nickel, they don't charge. Sandeep, here you have to do something here. JW, Amazon is only up 22%. Yeah, I think it's under 50%, JW. So I wouldn't. So Christine, I would not close the Apple 1172 and a half, 1170 right here. I'm talking about the one down here we put on, the 1160 whatever. I'd still hang on the other one. It's not in trouble. Yeah, there it is, Harry. Below, if you close a trade, Sandeep, some brokers don't charge you a fee if it's below a nickel. And OB's saying E-Trade, yeah, that's right, E-Trade if it's under a dime. But Sandeep, listen to me, guys. Important learning Obama teachable moment here. Sandeep, every time you hear yourself say something like, hey, I'm just going to let this trade expire worthless, it should send shivers up your spine and you should get worried. Why? How many times in my personal trading, before I went pro-am and then pro, did I sit here and go, you know what? That Amazon trade's up 90%, man. $1,600. It's got another $200 to go by Friday. I'm just going to let it expire worthless. And then I go and play golf, and I get home, and Amazon makes an announcement about how they did X, Y, and Z, and the stock's down 10% in after-hours trading. And I turned a 90% winning trade, Sandeep, into a 100% loser. And I'm not going to ask anybody to raise their hand because I guarantee you out of the nearly 200 people in this webinar, everybody in this room has done the same thing. So do you understand that? So me, Brent, Fish, Cliff, hand raised. So Chuck, too many times have I seen my profits go up in smoke. Ray, been there, done that. Exactly, HH. So exactly. So Sandeep, all your wingmen are chiming in right now saying don't let it. You got to fly your own airplane, man. If you want to sit here and say, hey, I'm going to let it expire worthless and get every little penny out of it, I'm telling you, man, that will happen often. Wiz, I do it all the time. And then the one time you don't, and it goes from being a 90% winning trade to a 100% loser, it's a big loss, man. I'm telling you that's going to happen to you. Please, 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 please. Okay? That's exactly right, Cliff. Better to find another trade with that capital. Brent, that has been added to my SOP. Take profits 80% always. There you go, Brent. Good. And Sandeep says understood. Takes lots of trades to make it back. That's exactly right, Fish. Spoken like a veteran, man. Hey, I had that one trade. I said I'd let it expire worthless. They came out the next day. The CFO's on an airplane to the Caymans with all the company's cash and the stock's at zero. Don't do it. Okay. Would you open that trade now? No. There you go, Mo. Very well said. Okay. One of my 2017 lessons learned. Well done, Brian. I'm glad to hear that. Oops, let me press send on this. That was stupid. So, there you go, HH. That's my SOP, and hopefully it sounds like a lot of you have picked that up. If there's a 70, 80, 90% in front of my trade, I am, like the guy in the song said, go on, take the money, and run. Okay? PLTB, update, Apple. All right, we got to talk about CSX, guys, and then we got to get some new trades on here. Very happy with everything that's going on. Well, now let's pay the commissions and make it back on the next trade. Sleep better at night. Yep, you got it, man. Good. Learning has occurred, man. You guys this is great. I'm glad to hear my SOPs getting thrown back at me. All right, CSX. We talked about this last week. Whoever said I don't think you either watched the replay or saw the email or something like that. Tim, you're right, and it also frees up margin. We talked last week. Where's the 20? When was last week? Second. Where's the second? Oops, right there. So CSX right here. I said, hey, I'm getting a little frosty. I haven't, Sandeep, actually on both Amazon trades, even if we close today, we are making profits of 36.59. Sandeep, I don't know what you got filled at, Sandeep. If you're up $3,659 today on both Amazon trades, Sandeep, do you like making $3,700 in a couple weeks? If the answer to that question is yes, I would close them. If the answer to that is whiz, well, I could make $4,200, then you're playing a dangerous game. Okay. Brian, Brian, the MGM trade's looking good. I don't think it's in this portfolio though, so we'll talk. I think MGM's an AR and analyze your trade. So, but guys, CSX, bad trade out of me. But last week I said what? This is running into earnings, man. It's got earnings the 16th, and of course now it's starting to pull back. I would get out of it. So we had an iron condor on. Let me show you the trade. So this is my worst trade in what, a month and a half? Shoot me. Kevin, man, we'll talk about that in a second. Kevin, what time frame are you up that amount? Kevin's up 108% in the GE spread. Holy crap. That is awesome. Synthetic stock up 104%. We'll talk about GE in a second, but let's close out the bear call spread in this iron condor, guys. What is it? It's the 56.5, 57. It expires tomorrow. I'd close it just so you don't get you don't run the risk of assignment here. We talked about this last week, guys. As this went through your adjust or eject level, we talked last week. I said I'd get out, man. This is when you see something running into earnings, somebody either knows something or it's something. Get out of the way. Lionel, Amazon long call diagonal with protective put. Should I close it? Up $7,000. Lionel, I didn't put on an Amazon long call diagonal. We have an Apple and a Facebook in that sector. Harry brings up a good point. What's your personal SOP, Lionel? If you have an Amazon long call diagonal on, I would stay in that thing until a month before it expires. Amazon is not Facebook and Apple, guys. Amazon, if you're in a long call diagonal on Amazon, man, look at this thing. I'd stay in it, but I can't tell you what to do, Lionel. If you're up $7,000 and in a short amount of time and you like $7,000, then take it. But I don't see any problems with Amazon. Mark, CSX long call diagonal is a great trade whiz, just sidestepping this run up. Yeah, there you go, man. The CSX. So guys, if you're still in the bear call spread, I get out of it just so you don't run the risk of assignment, or if actually it expires tomorrow. If you haven't been assigned in CSX by now, you might want to. You can, I don't think you're going to get assigned. It would have happened already. But bad trade out of me. But Mark, you're right. We got into the CSX long call diagonal after the skipper died, and they don't have anybody to replace him. That is so the run up in the yes, exactly, Steve. Steve's like the CSX long call diagonal is up $4,000 more than my the loss on the bear call spread. So there you go. Greg, my Amazon long call diagonal is up $28,000 in 6 months. Holy crap. Greg, I'm grabbing a copy of that, man. Very well done, Greg. I'm going to grab that CSX mark too. I appreciate that comment. My Amazon long call diagonal. Look at Greg, man. I remember you getting into that, Greg. That is good for you. That is Greg Amazon. So Greg got into Amazon LCD. Whew. Very well done. So guys, let's sit on our hands with, obviously, I said take off any front month upside calls. Do not put any long call, or I'm sorry, any short anything, guys. Let's just, Benoit, I never answered, what email last January? About which taxes? Send it again, Benoit. I don't remember seeing an email from you. I'll take a look. So CSX, guys, bad trade out of me, but I got to be honest with you, man. If you're going to wank about one losing trade out of about 32, I'm 28 for 32. So for not max loss, CSX is a max loss, and I think that one Tesla was, but that was a week, guys. That's a 90-something% profitability. That is exactly, Brian. That is. And thanks, Fish. I mean, shit does happen. I did not see. I talked to my transport buddy in Chicago. He's like, dude, nobody. This is insider buying or something. That is good news leading in earnings. But once you see, this is why we have adjust and eject levels, man. Yeah, it's starting to come back before earnings tomorrow. But somebody knew something, man. Oh, you did, Greg? Where? Ah, crap. I didn't see that one. On Amazon? If you can repost it, that'd be awesome, man. I'd appreciate that. Um, if you can repost it. But yeah, guys. So CSX earnings tomorrow. Let's sit on our hands. I would take. I'd get out of. I'm telling you, man. I don't know. I'm leery on tech. There's just the Facebook stuff, the insider selling, the legal stuff. The skipper saying I don't care about profitability. All that should worry you. And Apple, I mean, they usually destroy every Christmas, but they haven't given us one of those we destroyed Christmas reports yet. So I would rotate out of tech, guys. This is a big one. Listen to me. I would rotate out of tech and into my other sectors that we talked about: transports, defense, emerging markets. Man, we had some shit hot EWZ trades too, man. Our Brazil trades have been in fuego. Been absolutely phenomenal. John, I would not be in the XLK either, but we have Brazil trades in another portfolio. But this is where's Kevin? Kevin, I know you're a big EWZ guy. We've had some nice bull put spreads on here, and it has been awesome. Good trading in EWZ. Yeah, I know the market's closed, guys. I knew that would happen before we got to new trades, but we'll still look at after hours trades and take a look at them for the morning. But another record close in stocks. Another record close. Jose, I'll take that before we talk about a new trade. Costco. I tried to get into Costco. What was it, 5 months ago? Jose, did you get filled on that Costco trade? I never got filled on it. It was like back here. Was it over the summer, Jose? When did you get into it? Sandra, good question. I'm confused. I'm kind of relatively new. That's what I said earlier, Sandra. I would start by watching this right here, Sandra. So will you close Amazon trade tomorrow? No, Sandeep, when I sent that text alert out, or I was talking about closing the Amazon trade, I would have closed it. I mean, now you're committed to tomorrow because the market's closed. So we had a long discussion about that, Sandeep. So Sandra, if you're new, please watch this brief and read this post, because I go over the 5 sectors that everybody, if you're new, guys, listen up. I talk about financials. You should either be in a JP Morgan or a Morgan Stanley, Jan 20. Defense, Raytheon is my baby. We just covered Raytheon a little while ago. Energy, you should be in an ExxonMobil. These are all Jan 20, Sandra. Tech, nope. But Amazon isn't tech. It's kind of services. So maybe I'll rename this. And then finally, Sandra, emerging markets. I like EWZ. I just talked about it, the Brazil ETF. So Sandra, if you're new, folks, all of these positions that are highlighted, I would put on Jan 20 LCDs, long call diagonals. Now I'm trying to get, now I'm just getting cavalier with this magic marker. Does that make sense, Sandra? Okay. Rick, did I miss the CSX brief? Jan 18, 57.5. Yeah, I guess you did miss it. We talked about putting on a long call diagonal a couple weeks ago in CSX. Did you, right here. Here it is right here. Who just asked that question? Rick. So watch this one. Cavalier in yellow? No way. So this is it right here. Yeah, so this long call diagonal should be printing money. And I don't think it isn't in this portfolio, guys, but let me get a hell yeah if you're in this trade. Oh, you know what, Jose? Let me get back to. Let me know if you're in Costco. I don't want to take up airtime with a position you're not in. Let me get a hell yeah is on this one. Oh, Greg just reposted. All right, hold on. Oh, there it is. Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks, Greg. Let me grab this one. Hold on 1 second, guys. That is awesome. That's well done, man. 6 months. It's 28 grand in 6 months. That puts a smile on my face, Greg. Congratulations. Very well. Very good trade. AMZN 26K. 6 months. Everybody give Greg a golf clap there, man. That was awesome. We did not take any trades today. Sandy, I'm getting ready to get into some potential new trades. We had a long brief here. So here's our GE, guys. When did we get into GE? Right there. We did synthetic stock at 15. I know it's in a different portfolio, but if you're not in that service, please take a look at GE. Look at this. Tamara, I'll take a look at waste management. You got it. I know, Greg. You just froze on my screen. Oh, Harry, we're looking at GE. So we'll cover GE in a different brief, but if you're not in one of my other services, here's a free trade for you. GE's a yes. So I wasn't thinking about Costco, guys. Jose asked me about it. I talked about Costco like 6 months ago, and I never got filled on my trade. That's a good run. I wouldn't. Costco's a niche retailer. I don't think they're going out of business. If anything, I think Amazon acquires them, Jose. I got to be honest with you. I think it's a. I think it's an acquisition. So. But let's take a look at new trades here, guys. Mark got into GE when it was 1746. Yeah, this was a great trade, man. Why does it always go back? So right around there. Yep. Here's where we got it. Yeah, it was right here, I think. Whew. Hell of a trade on GE, guys. Very, very good. Very, very good trade. All right. And Sandra, so this brief with where to be in Jan 20s is right here. And Sandra, I also said I would only be trading the front months. We're in the front month, right? Greg, the 28K on Amazon is 106%. Dennis, what's your dollar gain in that? So Dennis said, it was in June. So Dennis said Costco was an accelerated retirement on June 21st. I'm up 500%. Holy shit, man. I got to start. We're doing a full throttle launch in a couple weeks. We had a hell of a year. Dennis, how much are you up in that trade? The percentage gain is disgusting. Dennis, can you repost that? Can you, that 2 contracts, man, up $3,800, 500%. Let me grab that one, Dennis. I'm glad you guys got filled on that. Jose, if you got filled around Dennis, hopefully you're looking pretty good too. But Dennis, Costco, 500. You're getting a lot of accolades there, Dennis. Ray, on GE, aren't you afraid of a blowout bad fourth quarter? Perhaps one more leg down, the new guy will write everything off. No, yes and no. Well, that was a bullshit answer. Here's what I'm getting at. Yeah, they could, but that's known. So it's a good point. Same thing. I kind of briefed this on the financials, guys. We're talking about bank earnings tomorrow. I briefed you on the financials. The fourth quarter could look like a complete shit sandwich, but everybody knows it's going to be a shit sandwich. And if it's less of a shit sandwich, we might actually see a rally. I got to be honest with you guys. I saw unusual upside call buying in GE. So, and same thing with the financials. If everybody, remember guys, companies tend to sandbag. GE's been sandbagging. We're cutting our dividend. The old CEO flew around with 2 airplanes. We were horrible. So you're absolutely right that we might see another one of these legs down. I don't think so, man. We had month and a half of building a base here at 17.5-ish. and then this rip your face off rally, that's not a dead cat bounce. So I appreciate what you're saying, Ray. I'm thinking the exact opposite. I think even if they do come out with a wrath of God, the fourth quarter sucked, it'll be bought. HH, you're exactly right. Fourth quarter writes the evils from the prior three quarters. You're absolutely right. I absolutely, um, I absolutely think this was the bottom in GE. That's why I said that on, when was it, the 21st or whatever. We got in here, guys, and at 17, whenever, what's his name, 1746. It's up almost $2 or $1.50 or whatever since then. Isn't that awesome? So, um, Curtis, I brought up Caterpillar when we talked about GE. I like Caterpillar, but this is why I didn't get into it, Curtis. Not saying it's not going to run even more, but that's ever since the beginning of December when Trump's like, taxes are done, nobody does taxes better than me, huge. That's a monster rally out of Caterpillar. That's a $20 rally. So I like Caterpillar, but it's you ready for this? It'll be my silver medalist in the kind of industrial or transport space. I went with GE because of this, man. You could have loaded the freaking boat with GE as opposed to Caterpillar. Does that make sense, Curtis? So good question. Caterpillar's my silver medalist in the space. GE is the gold. Okay. Sandeep, you mean even if financial said tomorrow about fourth quarter losses, it'll be a time to buy the dip? Sandeep, man, watch the replay, my brother. I spent about 15 minutes covering this. What will the tax law do to bank earnings? I covered JP Morgan earnings tomorrow. We covered all this, man. Watch the replay. The answer is yes. You bet, Tim. I'm going to talk about a trade in a couple minutes, Tim, so just watch for a text. Since the market's closed, we can't put it on anyway. But and then Harry, I didn't ignore you, man, but a while ago we traded because I was a lot of tangents today, but so Sandra, here's when I said all of those are good Jan 20 long call diagonals, and I'm going to lean towards mainly for 2018 only trading the front months on names I'm long out to Jan 18 in. Okay, so the one exception would be like a Goldman Sachs, where I also know like the back of my hand where it's kind of choppy, and then the one you just had up here, Tesla. So we have a bull put spread on in another portfolio, the 300, was it 297.5? I put that on last week. I can't stand Tesla, but you can't fight the chart here. Okay, so we will trade the front months in a handful of names, or I can count on maybe 2 or 3 fingers the number of names we're going to we will not be. If anything, Sandra, to be honest with you, we talked about this. I'd put on a long put diagonal on Tesla. I think Jim Chanos, legendary investor, huge portfolio manager, what was it, 3 weeks ago, said, I think Tesla's worth zero. I think it's broke. He's like, there's no value. I'm like, ooh, that hurt. Yeah, exactly, HH. Tesla, still no product. So this is one I would trade. This was the one I was going to talk about today because we still have a good month or so. They're usually towards the end of earnings. It's like financials and then tech, and then everybody starts getting bored of earnings, and then you get like the island of misfit toys towards the end of earnings period. So if anything, this massive run here, I would throw, it usually is. So it'll be the end of February there. Exactly, HH. That 300 level is a psychological. The market likes round numbers, so that 300 bull put spread. I think that's at an 80-85% gain. Again, as I go through the portfolios, I'll start sending out the text alerts here. So it is, it's looking good. Tesla's making me drink this week and dipping the cigars in whiskey. Love the love the moment. Harry, that's right. Harry, did you send the cigars to Lauderdale? That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to head down there tomorrow. Here's what I'm rambling about at. I told you not to put anything short in the front months on a lot of our stuff. This isn't a lot of our stuff. I think Tesla's going to do this until it goes into earnings. I do. Okay, thanks, Harry. That's what I'm thinking, Fish, is a bear call spread. All this good news about orders and this, I get everything that's going on. Hey, look at this. GM is going to overrun Tesla. There's a good headline. New data hints at weakness in Waymo's approach to self-driving. Why critics say Tesla's Model 3 will fail, and why I disagree. Evercore, a huge Tesla long. If you want to buy Tesla stock, now's the time. No shit, Sherlock. That's one of your biggest positions. Amazon is a digital beast that must be contained in a government cage. Yikes. So here's what I'm getting at. Tesla, the optics are worsening. Ooh. When will Tesla run out of cash? Let me look at this one. I said by the end of Q2. Look at me. I'm not going to read this shit in front of you. Here's what I'm getting at. I was sitting on the airplane looking at all this stuff. I'd look at a bear call spread on Tesla. So I'm not breaking my SOP by saying, hey, Wiz, you're going to short something. No, I said I would not put a top on anything we have a Jan 20 on. Why? Because all of our Jan 20 stocks, except for Facebook and Apple, even if they're up right now, guys, I want to do a Peyton Manning or a Jerry Seinfeld, or George Costanza. I'm out of here. You leave on a high note. Or maybe what Tom Brady will do this year. Facebook and Apple, man, I don't know. So let me stop rambling here. On my flight back yesterday, again, for every bullish Tesla story, I see about 9 bearish. I think as we chop through financial earnings, this is almost a Tesla's out in the backyard running around as the adults are inside talking during earnings. So there's a lot of money that's going to be rotating into financials, out of financials, JP Morgan. There's going to be a lot of noise over the next 2 weeks with financial and tech earnings. I'm going to be like a pig in shit. I ain't trading anything through earnings. You guys know me. I don't throw darts. Earnings traders are throwing darts. I guarantee you, some of you in this room, you got burnt on earnings. Wiz, I was right on earnings. They crushed it and the stock went down. So you can be right on earnings, whether they're going to beat or miss and then lose money in the trade. I hate that. So, Ray, great commit criteria. The competition can and will underprice Tesla, and Tesla has huge cash burn. Not good long term. Ray, you nailed it. Sandeep, we have Tesla trade and making $14.50 right now. I said that. So yeah, Sandeep. So when you open that trade, if you got $1,800 in credit, the most you can make is $1,800 in that trade. If it's up $14.50 right now, what's that, man? That's about an 85% gain. I'm not going to go through the whole speech I gave you a little while ago. If you're up 85% in a trade, man, go on, take the money and run. Everybody's already typing to close it. So I got to sit down and look through the other portfolios. Like I said, I was walking across campus, freeze my ass off yesterday or the other day. So if you're up that much, that Tesla trade's looking great. We put it on right here, Sandeep, and we had an awesome pop. You can't beat that, man. So let's take a look. And again, Sandeep, I can't give you individual investment advice, but all your fellow traders are looking at, taking it off the table. Okay, so let's go out. No, Fish, I'm going to go out a little further than that. There'll be a lot of noise around expiration. Let's do the Jan 20, the 26, maybe the 345s. So it's 1 week further out there, Fish, and it's would close the trade tomorrow since Tesla expires on Jan 26. Yeah, Sandeep, like we talked about, here's the problem, Sandeep. If you want to wait to let it expire next week, all of a sudden Elon Musk comes out Wednesday afternoon of next week and says he's the Antichrist, and the stock implodes, $20. Then you turn that 85% winning trade into a loser. So if I were in your position, man, like the guy in the song said, Sandeep, go on, take the money and run. So, Benoit, I said that 8 times, man. I know the market's closed. This ain't my first rodeo. So any pricing we'd have right now, you got to look at it at the open. I know the market's closed, guys. I send out urgent alert trades sometimes after the market's closed, and I tell you to look at it at the open. So I know the market's closed. So, all right. How many did we have on the last one, Fish? Was it 30? Boom, look at that. It was 30. So technically, we have on a bull put spread another portfolio, so I guess it wouldn't be an iron condor. This is a good standalone trade. So let's go through our trade plan, guys. Formal trade plan. Step 1, my strategic mindset is cautiously bullish. Step 2, my target is Tesla. Step 3, commit criteria. Ray more or less just gave it to me with what he typed, but I think Tesla is going to trade sideways as we go through financial and tech earnings, and is going to consolidate on its run into earnings. Literally, I counted, for every 10 Tesla articles I read, 2 are bullish and about 8 are bearish. So I am short-term neutral on Tesla. I have a bull put spread on in another portfolio. Now I'm looking to put on a bear call spread. So this fits my neutral strategic mindset. So there you go, right there. That is step 3 in our trade plan, the commit criteria. So the trade, step 4, tactical employment. I'm going to sell 30. Why 30? Give me 2 minutes of the Jan 26. Why Jan 26? Because I don't want to do it just a week out. It'll be noisy next week with a bunch of stuff. I want to get through tech and financial earnings and give this a little bit more leash, because as you can see, ran up, ran down, ran up. So this 345 level, or more to the point, 340 level, has been resistance, short-term resistance. So what am I going to do? I'm going to give myself $5 of airspace. I'm going to give me $5 of breathing room. I'm going to sell 30 of the Jan 26 345 calls. That means I'm neutral to bearish on Tesla. I don't think, that's me saying, hey, Tesla, I don't think you're above 345 by January 26. What if I'm wrong? Wiz, you're wrong. Elon Musk comes out next Tuesday and it turns out he is Jesus Christ. Well, the stock's going to have a rip your face off rally. It's going to blow through 347.5, but that's okay, because any $10, $1,000 above this 347.5, we're long these calls, so we're hedged. This is called a bear call spread. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily bearish. I'm neutral, right? You could be neutral, you could be bearish, you can even think it's going to hang out up here, right? As long as it stays below 345 by January 26. So I called it a bear call spread, but it's also called what? A credit spread. We're bringing in a credit, Sandeep, of 85 cents to do this trade. And so Benoit is right. Obviously, the market is closed here in the United States. So and after hours, it's up 4 cents after hours. I would go plus or minus 5 cents on this trade. I'd go down to a credit tomorrow of 80, or go up to about 90 cents. It did that for a little bit, Harry, but remember, then I got in the cycle last week, Harry. That's why I put on this bull put spread. It was reverse psychology for Wiz. I'm like, so we printed some good money here for Tesla, and then I got blown out right here. So I had like 3 good Tesla trades and a bad one. We were still net up a couple grand over the 4 trades. And then this last week, Harry, I did the same thing. I'm like, usually Tesla does the opposite of what I'm doing short term. So that's why I put on the bull put spread here, Harry. I feel you, man. But no, this is good. I'd go all or none. Let me grab a screenshot of this so I can put it in the replay email. File, save as, Tesla 111. Okay, so I'm going to click on Analyze, and everybody in this room knows the only place that our eyes go anytime we analyze a trade as an options trader is right there. How much can we lose on this trade, Wiz? That is my SOP, 35 grand. I don't want to risk more than 5% of the model portfolio on any one trade. If you ain't cool with that, don't do 30 contracts or do a wider spread. You can do 80 other things, guys. But if you're not okay with potentially losing 5 grand in this trade, either do less contracts or don't do the trade. Okay. Then and only then can we sit here and go, yeah, okay, I don't want to lose 5 grand, but I'm okay with that risk. Now we can look at Mr. Happy Face over here and say, I'm risking 5 to potentially make 25. That's a good risk to reward ratio, guys. That is really, really, really nice. I like this. Okay. And here's the best thing about trading a bear call spread is this. Yeah, Harry, that's a good catch, guys. Don't place this trade tonight. Let it sit there overnight. Wait until amateur hour is over tomorrow morning. This is good. We haven't done an after hours trade brief in ages, so don't put this trade in now. Wait until the open tomorrow, because the first half an hour, usually we call it amateur hour. The first half an hour trading is usually amateur hour. So let the market settle. But I would still look at these strikes. Okay. And Tesla's up to 338 after hours, so it's up a nickel, whatever. So here's why we love being an options trader, folks. There is Tesla. That's currently the price. Okay, so Tesla can go down, we make money. Tesla can kind of hang out where it is, we make money, or it can even go up as long as it stays below the break even. And what's the break even? Right there. 64% probability using current at the money volatility before the close of this trade, at least making some scratch. Okay. So, yeah, Chuck, about 30 minutes after the open, yeah, we call it amateur hour. So, with the strategic mindset, would it be a bear call spread on, not be a good idea on Facebook? Let me close this out here, Greg, and then I'll talk about that. No, or yes. Meaning I agree with you. Short answer, I would agree with you with Facebook. But let me grab this and get this out to our folks. So yeah, well, Facebook short term, I would absolutely look at a bear call spread. I think that's a great idea. Be careful of earnings, though. PLTB, new, Tesla, bear call spread, all or none. So, folks, I'm looking to do 30 contracts. If you don't select the all or none on your brokerage platform, you might get filled with one contract, 7 contracts. Most brokers don't charge you repeat commissions if it's for the same day, but if you try and get filled the next day, so just click all or none. Let's leave it at that. January 26 is the expiry. I'm going to look to sell the 345 calls and buy the 347.5 calls at an 85-cent credit, plus or minus 5 cents. Whoops, that was completely wrong. Plus or minus 0.05. I'd look to potentially adjust this trade if it's moving against me and it goes up to maybe about $1.35, and maybe eject out of the trade if I'm double the credit that I take in, about $1.70. Wait until 30 minutes after open for tomorrow. Copy. Let me blast this out. And then, yeah, real quick. So, JP, are you still in here, man? So, JP, just go to the donate page. Who else is in South Florida? Vasilius, can you make this on January 30th? So, the event is January 30th at the W here in Fort Lauderdale. Let me blast this out. So, SMS problem, children. If you're not getting SMS alerts, folks, just shoot us an email and we'll put you on the problem. New Tesla bear. Yeah, I didn't cover MGM too much. It's not in this portfolio. I got to do a better job of keeping trades in their lanes, because I confuse people. They're like, I don't have the MGM trade. I'm like, okay, you're not in that portfolio. Thanks, Vasilius. I appreciate that. It would love. How do you adjust if it goes to $1.35? Let's talk about that, Pete. Kevin, we haven't done it's funny you say that. We haven't done an SPX trade in a while, and here's why. First of all, I don't want to put a cap on it, right? And if anything, when you see one of these, Kevin, I think we get one of these for a little bit. After these monster runs, we usually see a little bit of a level off. This isn't a monster run. This is a monster run. So you're reading my mind, Kevin. I think we're going to hover. I don't think we're going to do this. let me go yellow. I don't think we're going to necessarily hover this bad, but I think as we get into earnings, I think we're going to channel a little bit and then see another run up. So once another record day, it's almost getting passe to look at the bottom third of CNBC or Fox Business and see another record day. So we'll get back into SPX. We printed money in SPX, guys, especially on our weeklies. I'm not obviously going to get bearish. So that's what I was getting at. Check out Tastyworks' new commissions, $10 cap max on large trades. New for really, Scott. What's their options platform like? So, Harry, yeah, we covered volatility in a little bit. I wouldn't be doing anything with vol. I wouldn't be getting long or short. I monitor vol obviously daily, Harry, but it's not doing anything. Data subscription. So JW, over here at TradeStation, I had to sign up for everything, but I got to be honest with you. I don't think you need all of them at TradeStation. You know what, JW, let me table that. Let me talk to Mike tomorrow. Or actually, JW, you know what? Let me give you Mike's contact information over at do you have Mike's contact information at TradeStation? It'd be easier if you reach out to him. Brent funded TradeStation yesterday. Cool. So let me grab Mike's info. Where is he? Mike Matheson. Let me give everybody Mike's info here, guys. You can email him, call him, whatever. But this is the guy I've been working with. And, in order for us to be a good citizen and to get all the deals, we have to show these people that we can open accounts. I'm like, no, JW, use this dude. Send all. Don't work with a Corey. Brent has worked with Mike, so there you go. Tamara's account got approved, getting funding done now. Exactly. It's an ass pain, guys, to move over, especially when you got a shitload. I had to unwind so many positions. It's going to piss me off if they don't start waking up. So let me put it in the chat box too. So there's Mike's information, guys. Grab that and give him a call. There's his direct number and just ask. Because I really can't give you any guidance on opening a brokerage account, guys. To be honest with you, you know me at TGO, we do right. That would be a little wrong for me to do. So hopefully that'll help you, JW. He'll help you. I'll leave it at that. I'm legal and I'm allowed to say, hey, talk to this dude. But I really can't give you too much guidance after that. He's a broker dealer, so he's allowed to do that. He is a nice guy, Tamara. Exactly. So guys, real quick, I'm going to ask one more time to put the call out here. Well, actually, I'm going to do it every week to donate to our foundation. Did anybody see what happened with Pfizer last week? What did Pfizer say they were going to stop doing the other day? Anybody see this? Anybody see that? I'm still training on the options platform, Fish. That's why I'm watching this video right here. It's called Option Station Pro. If you guys want to maybe watch this video, here it is right here. Let me put this. Yeah, so it's in the chat box, guys. So it's right there. So, and Ray, talk to the Mike guy about commissions because again, everything's negotiable, guys. It's all negotiable. Okay. So, yeah, exactly, guys. Vasilius, you read that. So Pfizer is going to stop doing research on their Parkinson's and Alzheimer's drugs, which is not good news for people with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. That is not a good thing. So let's it's bad. So we need more than ever. That's 5 million Americans that are afflicted by this. And I got a lot of nice emails from people who are donating and either it's in their family or they know people. So do me a favor, guys. Like I said, it is a major disappointment, Vasilius and Tamara. It is ridiculous, but it sucks because when I put my Gordon Gekko suit on, I'm like, okay, good. If I was a Pfizer shareholder, I'd be like, yeah, damn right. Let's move on to something that makes money. Putting on my flight suit, I feel like shit. It makes me sad and it makes me even more fired up to to do this. Um, Yeah, there you go, Larry. That's exactly right. So, guys, if you're in South Florida and you wanna hang out at the Cool Kids table, I have 10 chairs, 10 seats at the Top Gun Options table. It's $500 per seat because it's 10 people, and yeah, so it's $500. It's 10 people at our table. So, and I know a couple people have already rogered up. And then, like I said, folks, your donation, I'll reduce the cost of your annual membership by that amount. Okay, so when you renew this year, hey, just remind me. Shoot me an email, Wiz at Top Gun Options, when you guys donate, and we'll write it down. But remind us too. Harry donated a good amount, and we're going to reduce. So not only is it a tax write-off, and you're doing something good, you make money on your TGO subscription. So. Thank you, Tamara. I appreciate it. So yeah, so guys, like I said, this is a big deal to me, and especially after seeing a lot of the recent victory, a lot of people have been seeing in the past 2.5, 3 months. If you wanna give Wiz a thank you, do me a favor and go ahead and do that. So, but all right, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. I'll get the replay out here shortly, and we should be good to go. And then I'll see many of you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Again, thanks for the flexibility this week for my son's college visit. I really appreciate that. You guys putting up with the schedule changes this week. It also helps that all of our positions are printing money, except CSX. Can't sit here and beat my chest the whole time because CSX sucked. And hopefully you got out of that last week when we talked about it. So. Awesome. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll see you.